Olori Tobi must feel she is very important to the Ooni to make this kind of hilarious demand she is making. Yes, we call this hilarious because even at the point where a man have divorced you, a man have done every single thing to cut his ties with you, you are there rather using threats on him. So right now, no, as the whole matter is on ground, this has turned into a thing of threat because right now, categorically speaking, Toby is not even begging, she's rather threatening the Oni. So Olori Tobi Phillips have come out to tell the Oni in plain terms that if the Oni does not declare her back in the palace as his wife, she would go ahead and marry another man. And what exactly is the Oni hoping? Is it not for you to marry another man? My people. So now this brings us back to the reality of the reason why Toby initially left the palace. The last time we spoke vehemently about why Toby left the palace the last time, it was more like we were exaggerating things. But now, judging from facts, Toby really left the palace to go be with a man. But nobody would want to talk about that because according to the Oni, it was a break that Toby took from the palace. But what we heard was Toby seeking for divorce, Toby calling for attention that the Oni was not being romantic enough. She needed some space and all of those things. And what we know in our country is that when someone needs space, then definitely the person have seen another person that the person wants to try with. If it doesn't work out, then the person will come back to the old person. With all of these things, yet they told us that it was just space that Toby needed. Toby just needed some time out. And from that moment, Toby left the palace and came back into the palace. Toby has been a complete changed person. There is no day that will arise and will say that Toby is different. No, Toby has never been different. Toby has just been a total stranger, a total strange person ever since she returned back into the palace. And who even brought her back into the palace? It was Naomi. Naomi invited Toby into the palace. Come feast with me. And from the feast, it now went down to Toby not leaving the palace again, that she was pregnant. So from this whole progression, you will see that even if you decide to marry today, it will only give the only more joy because the man have done every single thing humanly possible to keep you, but you said no, I won't stay, I want to go. Now, on my people, when Toby said she was pregnant, we saw how they only took care of Olori Toby even before the pregnancy. There was a time that Olori Toby complained that the Oni was not giving her attention. She was being too lonely, and the last time she checked, she is a wife to the Oni. And what the Oni did was a straight vacation to Paris. Toby went for that vacation in Paris. We saw pictures, we saw a lot of things popping up on the internet. Everybody was happy for her. But what we did not hear was any of these Olori being jealous of Toby. But when it comes to them, Toby is always jealous, Toby is always concerned, Toby is even angry when things like that happen around them. Since after that vacation, Toby came back, then Toby took that break and returned. Toby returned as a strange and a complete different person in the palace. So you'll be wondering why we are emphasizing more on Toby returning as a complete stranger and a different person in the palace, because over the years we have known Olori Tobi to be a very different person. Yes, we have known Toby to be different from who she is right now. Now, speaking about Toby being different from who she is right now, Toby was very respectful. Toby used to respect Olori Naomi. Toby used to be beside Olori Naomi. But you know, when these women choose one person to hate in the palace, they hate the person relentlessly. Yes, they hate the person with every single thing that makes them who they are. So from that point, Olori Tobi started hating Olori Naomi. And obviously, this is not Naomi's fault. It is not Naomi's fault. whosoever Naomi is today is who she has built herself to become. So hitting on her, making her look like and you are this, you are that, it does not make sense. But these women, they have not been able to cash the check yet. So my people, though, from that day that Toby returned back into the palace to come feast with Olori Naomi, it indeed became a thing that Toby lost it all, because according to her, even when she went to Akure to see Olori Naomi, she made a statement. She said her goal was to dethrone Naomi. Since Naomi had a son for the Ooni, and it became more like it is who has a child for the Ooni that is important. Her goal was to get married, get pregnant, and also have her own children. When people like Elizabeth were refusing IVF, it was none of her concern. Her only concern was to what? Just a single chance to have a child for the Ooni. Once the child comes in, the next thing is to face Naomi. That was her concern. So when she got to know that she was pregnant for twins, gosh, she just knew that she has gotten the perfect weak point to take Naomi down. And the thing about this thing is that, is Naomi even bothered about all of these things? No, she's not bothered, because Naomi is not in competition with anybody. That is it. Naomi is not in competition with anybody. So if you are not in competition with anybody, then how will you be bothered or worried about what the person feel or what the person thinks? Because this woman has just been one among the best, like the best Oni has ever had. Yes, she's just the best. Because judging from the truth, judging from reality, you would come to that point of realization that the Oni did not make a mistake getting married to this woman. He didn't. In fact, the Oni has always been happy when it comes to Naomi. Very, very happy when it comes to Naomi. What does he tell? That he does not regret the day he made that decision that Naomi is the woman I want to marry. But you see all these other women, they only could go to that extent, to that point of saying, leave my palace, take divorce, take this, take this. Look at when Naomi even said she was going to get a divorce. Down to the point they went to court. They only did not even allow any single thing proceed, because they only knew very well. They only knew so well that if it goes on, Naomi has the right to leave a marriage when a marriage is no longer what she wants. Yes, it permits her to do so. But simply because she's a prophetess, then it doesn't mean she cannot leave a marriage. She can leave anytime the marriage is not giving her the output she wants. Oni knew very well that if they proceed in court, Naomi had the chances of leaving the marriage, but Oni does not want this woman to leave yet. Some people were beginning to say the Oni is obsessed. You have not truly loved someone before. If you have truly and genuinely loved someone before, then you will know that what happened between the Oni and the Olori Naomi during that period was nothing but genuine love. Yes, those people were truly and are truly in love with each other, and that was what happened during that time. The Oni not allowing Olori Naomi to proceed with her divorce plans, and then today we are talking about Naomi returning back into the palace, and then all of a sudden Toby wants to commit suicide if they don't bring her back. My people, wahala day.